This is Brendan Appel with Sons of Speed, and we are here in a Sons of Speed First. I have never driven a Toyota Prius before, and I never had a desire to drive a Toyota Prius before. However, they've since redesigned the Toyota Prius so it doesn't look like something a spaceship dropped off and looks something more racy, and that got our attention. So here we are in the Prius Prime. Now that exterior that caught our eye is something that's actually nice to look at. What gets me the most though is that the rake of the windshield equals the rake of the front hood in something that designers must have taken a cue from, like the Lamborghini Countach. I mean, it's just one angle from the front bumper to the roof, and it just looks very sporty. I'm actually very impressed with the exterior design of the Prius, and that is the literal only reason I had any interest in driving this car. And I'm kind of glad I got in it because there's so much more to actually enjoy about this vehicle. So when you start from the outside looking good, brings people to the inside. Now on the inside you get something that's very kind of rare, I think, in today's automotive vehicles, and that is that I am looking at my instrument cluster over my steering wheel. This steering wheel is very small, even though it's packed with a lot of buttons and stuff, but it's small and it's kind of lower, and the instrument panel is set back almost as a quasi head-up display. It's not showing in the windscreen, but it's close enough where it's right sort of in your field of vision, and you look over the wheel to see it. Honestly got pretty used to that very quickly, and it wasn't really an issue, but it's just very unique. The other thing is really cool in here is the 12.3-inch touchscreen display that includes CarPlay and Android Auto and Toyota's own navigation system. This is a XSE Premium, and what that means is you get all of the goodies and a couple of optional things as well, including heated rear seats. But what you don't get is any kind of a glass roof, and that's because this vehicle has the optional solar roof. Yes, you heard me right. It has solar panels on the roof. It's been kind of cloudy and wintry here in Chicagoland, and unfortunately, I can't tell that it's added any power range whatsoever. There is something that measures that, and it keeps coming up with 0.0. It's not free. I'd like to see it more out in the summertime and see what kind of power that could add on a hot summer day, but a very cool idea nonetheless. And if you didn't know already, the reason why that's important is the Prime is a plug-in hybrid, not a regular hybrid like the regular Prius. As a plug-in hybrid, this has both a gas tank, which is on this side of the car, and an electric plug, which is on that side of the car, both at the rear. And plugging in can get you a claimed 44 miles, I think, of range. I was able to get on the highway driving in EV only mode about 24 miles of range. So it might depend on your driving conditions and how fast you're going. But regardless, you do have some electric only range, and you can plug in at home. And I used a 110 volt charger just from my outlet, and went from 25% to 100% overnight. And the best part is once you run out of electric only range, it kicks over into hybrid mode, because it's got a 150 horsepower 4-cylinder engine under the hood with variable valve technology that scoots pretty well, because on engine only we were able to hit 6.7 0 to 60, and here is that run. Okay, 0 to 60, we are in charge mode, which is engine only, and we are in sport mode. Let's see what the Prius Prime can do. That CVT is working hard to keep it in the power band. Boom. 6.74 to 60. It's not bad, actually. It's a Prius, but it's Not the old Prius, that's for sure. So that's what it does in engine only mode. I can tell you that it's pretty peppy with the engine, not so much with just battery power. This is not a full-blown EV where you're gonna have just immense and immediate torque and power that's gonna blow the doors off of a lot of really expensive and fast gas engine cars. The EV part is definitely a little more subdued, and to prove that, let's do a 0 to 60 test on EV power only. That's EV only. It's quiet. It's quiet, come on. 11.33, okay. So in gas only, 6.7. Electric only, 11.33. You're almost double the 0 to 60 time if you're just using the battery. Now, that's obviously not what this battery is for. This is not meant to be, you know, a Tesla in cheetah mode, but it does give you an idea of what the Prius is aimed at, and that is efficiency. So other bits inside the interior of this vehicle that are nice, these, they call them soft tex leatherette seats, are very soft and they're very nice. They're heated and cooled in the XSE Premium, and you have a heated steering wheel. You have a heated windshield. I don't know if it heats the whole windshield or just by the wipers, but that's nice. Automatic high beams. You have obviously all of your automatic climate controls here as well. The passenger also gets the heated and cooled seats, and the rear seats in this vehicle are a $350 option, and this one does have them. You also get a surround view camera that works really good. The button is sometimes hard to see because it's behind the stalk on the right, so I didn't see it at first, but it is there. And that turns on the surround view, which is very useful, and the cameras are great in this vehicle. This one also has the rear camera mirror. So if it is a little hard to see out of the back of this because it's just as raked as the front, and that rear window is very small. So if you'd rather, you can use the rear window camera instead, and so you get a rear view camera. The rear view camera is a $200 option. You get a ton of USB ports. They're all USB-Cs, so if you have USB-A cables, they won't do you any good in here. I can tell you also this armrest on the driver's side and also on the passenger side is a little padded. It's got a little bit of give to it, so that's a nice welcome touch. There is obviously it's plastic in here in a lot of places, but it's done tastefully with some texture, and it's not really your touch surfaces. It has a wireless phone charger, which is right next to the gear shift. Unfortunately, I have not yet been able to make it work to charge my phone, which fits. It just blinks orange and doesn't charge. And it has the same shifter out of the Lexus LC500 and a lot of other Toyota and Lexus products that works really well. You pull it to the left and ahead forward to get into reverse, or left and back toward the back to get into drive. Electronic parking brake, and it does have auto hold as well. That sound you heard is the most annoying part about this vehicle, which is that it has above the wheel here, right above the wheel on top of the column, a sensor that is watching your eyes. And when your eyes leave the front of the car for too long, such as let's say you were, you know, looking for cross traffic, then it beeps at you and reminds you to put your eyes back on the road. I'm sure that's a good safety feature for some people, but in most situations it goes on way too early. The other thing that goes on way too much is the cross traffic alert. It has front and rear cross traffic alert. If you like all those nannies, this car has them. I'm sure you can turn some or all of those off, and you probably will end up doing that after a little while. So you're probably wondering, how much will all of this goodness cost you? Well, this is pretty much a fully loaded Prius Prime. The standard price is just over $40,000 with destination. It's like $40,260 or so. And with all the options that are on this vehicle, including the destination fee, you're at $42,600 or so. And so the value here is actually pretty good for what you get, because honestly, this has, technology-wise, everything that you might want in, say, a crossover SUV. It's just that it's in a car instead. A very good-looking car. It has decent trunk room. It has a powered lid down. It's got front-wheel drive, though, not all-wheel drive. That's probably your biggest drawback if you live in the snow belt, is maybe, you know, you're going to want winter tires to give it that sure-footedness in the snow. Other than that, though, it's actually pretty peppy, and it looks great, and it's not that much money. So in today's dollars, and with your average car costing well over $45,000 at this point, it's under the average, and it gives you pretty much everything that you can need, including a solar panel roof. How cool is that? So this has been Brendan with Sons of Speed. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time we upload a video here on We Are Motor Driven. We'll see you next time in the next review. One last 0 to 60 test, this time in hybrid mode. .56, best of the bunch. Got the battery and the motor working together, and gets you about a 6.5 0 to 60 on the street. So very cool.